Hi, this is Regeline Sabat, also known as Gigi. You're listening to Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Dr. Katashia Kendrick, known to her patients as Dr. Katashia. She's a board-certified clinical pharmacy specialist in ambulatory care. Welcome to the show, Dr. Katashia.
Thanks for having me, Gigi. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. It's an honor to have you here today. Now, why don't you start off by telling us about you and where you are from?
Yes, again, my name is Dr. Katashia. I am a board certified clinical pharmacy specialist, health and wellness coach, and I am in Houston, Texas, by way of Memphis, Tennessee. That is my home.
I love it. And what inspired you to become a doctor?
I always wanted to work in healthcare. I remember as a little girl speaking with my mom and dad about what I want to do. And I really didn't want to be a nurse. I didn't want to actually be a medical provider, but I wanted to do something to help patients, to help people. And when I looked into the different professions and actually walked down the street and talked to a neighbor, and that's when she told me that her daughter is a pharmacist and I should talk with her. And I spoke with her, and that conversation in the 8th grade changed my life. I knew then I wanted to be a pharmacist since I was about 15 years old. So it started early on, and I just worked hard to be able to go to pharmacy school. And I ended up going to the University of Tennessee undergrad. And then I went to my HBCU, Xavier University in New Orleans for
I
pharmacy. Mhm.
Absolutely amazing. Now, you and I connected via the Clubhouse app, and when I first heard you speak, you were discussing how you were a survivor of infertility, and ironically, I was just hosting the global virtual panel of infertility survivors. So you actually got to be a part of that, and you
Yes.
did share your story. But now, can you share with us today how you overcame infertility?
Ooh, that's a loaded question, really. How did I overcome infertility? I must say, Gigi, I would make this story short. We have a little bit of time, but I can honestly say that I never thought in a million years that I would be going through that. In my early 20s, I suffered with fibroids, and I had my first myomectomy, which is the removal of the fibroids in my 20s when I was in pharmacy school. And honestly, no one told me that the fibroids grew back. I didn't know. Lack of education on my side, I just didn't know. And then 10 years later, I started having those symptoms again. The bleeding, the just all the bad things that, blood transfusions, it was pretty bad because I was a severe anemic, and went into the doctor. And that's when I realized that my fibroids grew back. And at this time, that's when I was diagnosed with endometriosis as well. And I just could not believe it. I'm married at this time. We're talking about having a baby. And I really tried my best to save my uterus to have children. But the fibroids and endometriosis just took over. And it literally took the energy out of me. So at the age of 38, I had a hysterectomy, never been pregnant, due to the fibroids and endo. And my dream of having a baby, of birthing a baby with my husband, those dreams were literally taken away because of those things that I honestly did not know was going to cause my infertility. And so that's what actually did it, the fibroids and the endometriosis.
Absolutely inspiring. Now, tell us more about what is your why that keeps you going?
Honestly, I know I talked about the fibroids and what got me there, but I want to just mention like my why, or the things that I learned on the infertility journey. I can honestly say I was so confused. I was broken. And I must say I was mad at God, but He did teach me some lessons along the way. And the things that He taught me was, one, I can smile now because I'm on the other side of the journey. I'm at peace. And God taught me to keep the faith, even though I was going through this journey. And it was a difficult one because I cried. It was an emotional roller coaster. Um, I remember I stopped going to church. I want to mention that. I just lost it. And I remember going to church one Sunday, and one pastor was giving her testimony that Sunday. And that testimony, that story was just for me. And going through all of that, that's when I realized that, okay, I needed to get it together. I need to listen to the word, get back into my word. I just heard the Lord say, keep the faith. It will be okay. And from there, I never thought that this story would end the way it ended. Let's say that. And then two, I needed to accept the facts because honestly, it was a hard decision to make to have a hysterectomy because I really thought I would be able to birth children. But honestly, in accepting the facts, it actually brought me to the point of birthing possibilities. Even though I didn't have a baby through me, God, I can birth possibilities, meaning that I can start a business, write a book. I can do all these things that I'm actually doing now and then tell the story. My story is that it will be okay. My story is that even though I went through the infertility journey with fibroids and endometriosis, I'm here to tell everyone that on the other side of this, it will be okay. And God is so good. And my why is spreading the word, but also letting people know that even though I made it through with God's help, my why is to let everyone know that it will be okay. And I also lost 100 pounds because I found, my way back to what I love to do is taking care of other people through me being a pharmacist. Now being a health and wellness coach, that's important to me because letting people know that that's not where my story ends. Right now I'm here to spread the word about how good God is, keeping the faith, telling your story, knowing that your story can inspire others. That's my why.
Amen. And it's a very powerful why. Keep the faith. Now, you talk about finding an alternative to being your why as the reason why you kept going. And you were very successful today. Now, walk us through that moment where you realize you would have to find an alternative. Why?
Had to find an alternative. Now, the alternative is to my story, adoption, right? I can sit here and tell you, oh yeah, I always thought about adoption. No, I would be lying to you. I was totally turned off. I wasn't interested. My husband most definitely wanted to do it, but my heart wasn't open to it. But again, going through this journey and understanding and meeting people and realize that my heart is open because I have so much love to give. So adoption is an option for us, and we're open to that. And my husband just graduated from school weeks ago, and that was our way to try to let him finish up with school and then look into this process of adoption because there's so many children out there needing homes, and our home is full of love, and we want to be able to do that. So my alternative is really adoption for us and opening our home to whatever God decides to send our way. We're open to it now.
I love it. Now, tell us more about a time in your life where you experienced an aha moment.
Oh yeah, I have aha moments, but the recent one, I'll talk about my career profession. I went to pharmacy school, open-minded, excited to learn about pharmacy, and I still love pharmacy. But I knew there was something else that I was missing because I was feeling stuck a little bit in what I was doing. And my aha moment was when I suffer from IBS as well, and I could not figure out, or the providers couldn't figure out what to do, and just giving me medication just to go to the restroom. And so that's when I looked into functional medicine and finding the root cause of my problem. And it actually changed my life to the point where now I am an integrative health practitioner, helping healing myself to help others. I'm currently going through the program of integrative health practitioners with Dr. Cabral. I mean, I love the way that now I can actually take me being a pharmacist and the things that I learned there and also incorporate being a health coach as well as being an integrative health practitioner. That's very important to me. So now I can incorporate my pharmacy as well as health and wellness. Oh, that's a great moment for me.
I love it. Very powerful. Now, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness, Dr. Katashia?
My advice, get out your own way. That's honestly, my mom says it all the time. Get out your own way. Keep the faith. That's exactly what it is. Keep the faith, because if you have a dream or you've been thinking about something, starting a business, writing a book, do it. Because you don't want to sit back years from now thinking, man, I wish I would have did that. I had regrets. And right now, this is the opportunity. Get out your way, and whatever is on your plate, whatever you've been dreaming about, just do it. And if you fail, I have a quote. I am a Toastmaster, and I decided to enter the speech contest this season. And I won first place all the way up to the district competition. I got second place. But I still, even though I didn't win first place, I learned something. I learned I'm resilient. I'm persistent. I am a lot of things. And I feel like if you get out your way, your dreams will become a reality with the Lord's help, right? Walking it with Him.
Amen. Amen. And Joshua 1:9 states, haven't I commanded you be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid or discouraged, for your Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Therefore, God is with us wherever he goes. And yes, we shall walk with him because he's with us wherever we go. Thank you, Dr. Katashia, for sharing that with us. Now, where can the audience find you?
Yes, I am on Instagram at Dr. Katashia. Let me take that at Dr. KP on IG, and my email with I am the founder of Celebrate Health and Wellness, where we celebrate every win, big or small. You can reach out to me at Dr. Katashia at celebratehealthwellness.com.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Dr. Katashia on her IG at Dr. KP Kendrick. And also her email is drkatashia at celebratehealthwellness.com. And Dr. Katashia, thank you again for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, and God bless you. I thank you for this opportunity. It's been great to meet you. You're awesome.
Likewise.